Welcome everyone to a new Master Duel video. Here, I am actually playing Yummy Mitsu now. And why? So, I finally got to Master Rank 5 after being hard stuck Diamond 1 for about a day. And it really sucked because I had a genuine understanding of my other decks, right? I feel like I know Vanquish K9 very well. I feel like I know Draco Tail branded very well, the pure version, right? And I even went with like Yummy K9 to see if like I can meet in the middle. Although this deck list definitely needs some work, and this will be updated soon. Why did I find success with Yummy Mitsurugi? And I think the question is fairly simple. The deck is able to do a lot, and its end board is rather unbreakable. And the fact that you play Yummy, right, means that it is actually super easy to combat K9 when you have effects like Monster Effect Pops, Book of Moons, Bounces, and the deck as a whole does play around K9. And even when your opponent goes for K9 summons, like let's say they go Izuna, Lupus, and they try to, XC summon, you can always combat it with the Yummy Surprise. And it feels amazing when you do, wholeheartedly. And you could bait it out super freely too with like cards like Cookie Yummy and the like. Even, using Murakumo if you end up having it on the board so that they can whittle their resources one by one. I find that piloting this deck has been the best decision that I have made so far. This is a very similar list to my previous iteration that I have showcased. The only difference is that I added 2 Perulias. I of course had to knock down the Maxi. This gives me space to play more Talents because Talents is a very good card. And the extra deck is the same, right? Now, sometimes I do wish that I had space for a Link Spider, but Nibiru doesn't seem to be too popular right now. If we look at the most popular decks, we see that Nibiru is not that good against Vanquish K9. Admittedly, they get to make a Ripper before they get in trouble with Nibiru. And anyone that does play into Nibiru with this deck either does not play it properly, or they, had to deal with one too many hand traps and have to play into the Nibiru, right? Which means they have a lot of resources in hand. So if they don't get Nibiru, they probably win. And if they do get Nibiru, they probably lose. And that is hard, right? You can't really gauge a card being useful when there's so many good ways to play around it. And then of course you see Draco Tail. Draco Tail is one of the decks that can and should play Nibiru, because there's a lot of times where you want simplified game state so that you can start popping off with your fusions, right? But aside from that, no other deck really, aside from this one, is really playing into Nibiru very hard. So Nibiru, I decided to cut it out because I just don't find it to be that important. And what kind of end boards can you make? I mean, you have end boards that have 1, 2, 3, 4 potential Omni Negates on the field with loads of interruptions from your Synchro monsters and your Yummy monsters that you summon from Grave. And then you also have a field wipe amongst hand traps if you need them. Now, the hand trap portion of the deck is not super important, but it's still nice to have. And then the follow-up that the deck grants is just amazing. Probably some of the best follow-up that you're ever going to have. IP into SP and more, right? And I mean, if I showed you guys my details, right, of my egregious sessions. Whoops, that's not it. Match history. You can see I've lost a good amount, right? But I finally, once I decided to make the transition to Yummy, I ended up having a bit more success. This was my most recent match. I don't think I'm gonna go too in depth into the matches. I definitely don't want to show this one. I misplayed pretty bad here. So this was a misplay that I did here. My opponent goes Imperm. That's their only form of interruption, and I decide to use the prayers to go ahead, tribute the Saji so that I can resolve the Saji effect, and then I have prayers to follow up on. I think that I could have actually saved this. And the reason being is that I have Cookie Yummy, Cupsy Yummy, and I have Prayers, right? So in a different scenario where I don't tribute for the Imperm, I can make Almirage, summon Cupsy, grab the Quick Play, make Cupsy Synchro to grab Marshmallow and a Lollipo, and then discard the Marshmallow more than likely because I don't want to play into the canines, right? Then I could go like, let's say, Gravity Controller, special summon out one of the monsters, or not even Gravity Controller. At that point I make Snatchy. Snatchy places the field spell. I special summon out the Cookie or the Lollipo, whichever. Make Lollipo and then go for like a Herald sequence, right? Where I would make Gravity Controller and then search the Habakiri anyways. And then that leaves me a bit safer into cards like Nibiru because I have the Habakiri and whatnot to follow up on, as well as the Quick Play spell, Marshmallow Engrave to summon it back out, and more, right? So I definitely could have played that a bit better, and I should have, but I end up going for this sequence anyways. And the worst part is that now that I'm looking about, the worst part about that is now that I am looking back, that sequence gives me like Baron on top of the end board, so like I should have done that instead. But like I took my time thinking because I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna do that because I don't want to play into like, you know, other hand traps, but then they have the talents and that would have helped me out no matter what. So I definitely messed up there. But anyways, so I do go for this exchange because of Camellia. If it wasn't for Camellia, I probably wouldn't have committed to that play anyways. And you know, now I have the bodies, and of course I don't bring out the Mirakumo because if I go Mirakumo, I summon Kagari and then I can't activate the token generator. Getting the token generator here was important to me at the very least because I want to be able to have the token face up on the field in case Nibiru falls down. Although I don't think I can actually do anything with the token looking through, so perhaps that was another misplay of mine, but I decided to prioritize actually having it. So I'm not gonna harbor too much about the plays that I'm going through at this point in time because it is straightforward. So we'll just rush through, put the field spell, make Lollipo, summon back out. I go for the Samsara Cat, summon out, banish, or put it back rather. Make the Herald here. Now I'm safe from the Nibiru. Now I'm safe from, what's it called? I guess canines, but if they had canines, they would have gone for it anyways. Into the Sprite Elf we go. Sprite Elf summon back out. Samsara Cat, put back the Cupsy. Activate to summon out the Marshmallow. Marshmallow, add back the Quick Play. Then I make IP, and that's it, right? So I have Mirakumo Pop, I have Yummy Surprise Bounce, I have Lollipo, IP into SP, and this is where I'm gonna tell you guys where I messed up. So they go Wanted, then they go Sengenjin, right? Right here, I should have gone immediately into SP Little Knight or activated the Lollipo to summon back out to get not only follow-up, but also Snatchy, right? So that I can Synchro later. And then I would have been able to SP, banish the Sengenjin. If they have another, like, you know, Millennium Monster, so be it. The reason why that play matters is because, one, it would have banished the Sengenjin, so he would have never been able to grab another Millennium Monster. And then if their next play has to be the Bellstar, I can IP Masquerena, not IP, but SP, target the Bellstar on summon when it activates the effect to go ahead and banish it so that he doesn't have a face-up card to play with. And you'll see, I didn't read this card's effect, by the way. I didn't know that it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Yeah, I learned that mistake here, so now I have to commit even more into my shitty situation because I misplayed. Yeah, not the best game ever. Then I go ahead and make SP to banish this one instead of the Sengenjin. And that's because I don't want him to get Ouiju Temple so that he can make the Snake Eyes. And of course I summon this here not to blow up, but just to have it on the field. I lose my Herald as well, and like keeping the Herald there would have been amazing, because it would have meant that if he wanted to go for the Bellstar, he would have had to send something on the field to the graveyard, not a monster in hand. And because the Herald is gone now, he's able to actually summon it from the hand by discarding the extra Bellstar that he had. So yeah, not the best case scenario for me, but at this point, I'm just going to play to the best of my ability through my misplay. And so I go Cookie to set. He normal summons the Snake Eyes Oak, go Sinful Spoils. I wish that, oh boy, I wish I just didn't misplay there. But anyways, I go for the Murakumo. He discards his last card. He goes Snake Eye Ash. I go Banish. And then he adds Poplar. Poplar is going to go ahead and summon itself to grab the field spell. So I, of course, summon out the Snatchy plus the Cupsy. I got a draw. It is not Ash Blossom, but what can you do? I don't play that many hand traps in this version in general. Then he goes into the Link Karibo, places the Oak into the field, Spell and Trap Zone, goes the Bellstar to place this into the Spell and Trap Zone, and then when he activates the effect, I bounce and I win. I normally transition to the next match, but like I had everything in my domain to like win, and I almost fumbled. Like, don't play like me right there. That's me on the sleeping pills. I should be asleep right now, but I wanted to make this quick video since I finally got this updated. Now this match is another one that I ended up winning so like solidly. They end up playing Yummy Mitsu, so it's a mirror match, and so of course I'm going to activate the Fuwalos. He changed Cross Out, I changed the second Fuwalos, and so he ends up not playing into this at all. And you know, I have Cookie Yummy now, so that's a starter. He goes straight for the Murakumo summon, and then for some reason he sent Serpent, so I guess he didn't have that many targets, so he's going to go ahead, add Prayers back with the Kusanagi, summon the Serpent, set the Prayers, and then pass. And I feel like I played this actually pretty well, so I start with Cookie, target the Murakumo. Then I go Snatchy. Snatchy effect is going to place a field spell. He's going to chain the Murakumo to negate, or I have to discard. And then he chain link 3 Prayer so that he can pop the Link 1, so that if I don't have any extenders, I'm cooked. Now, could I have let this go through? Potentially, but I have Cross Out, right? So might as well use it. I'm going to cross out the Prayers here to negate that effect so that he has little follow-up. And then I'm going to go ahead and Ash the Murakumo so that he can't blow this monster up. And it's a very good thing that I did, because here you're going to see that he actually Ghost Spells me. And because I have the surprise to extend, I'm able to go ahead and now go full combo. And of course, they scoop it up. So I feel very good about this one. I like this match a lot. The grind to master every single format is never gonna stop, and sooner or later I should help myself. But the reason why I moved straight to this deck is because I feel like it has been the most consistent for me and the best for me in ladder. Not last season, because like there's a lot of Dracotail roaming around, and you know, this deck doesn't fare too well against that deck when it draws very good turn 0 cards. But with the amount of Canine on ladder and a bunch of the Rogue that I've seen as well, going first, this deck has every tool to win, and even going second, right? I am considering playing Red Reboot finally, like what's taken me so long, and that is because Odeon is a deck that I keep seeing on ladder, and I really need a counter trap for that. And do I even have any? Let's see. The answer is no, so maybe I should make those. But aside from that, I do feel very good about every other deck that I go against, so yeah. I'm gonna try to get Master 1 again. And this season does just seem really hard. Every other deck that I want to play just isn't cutting it for me, so I'm gonna try to experiment to my best ability, and we'll see if I can get there. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a quick video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll update you guys as I continue this, you know, the grind, and I'll stream here and there to hopefully show that progress. It's gonna get harder from here on out, so we're just gonna give it. I'm gonna give it all my all. So thank you guys for watching. Peace.